Sensation. I'm your host, Dan. And in this episode, I'm going to be looking at what I consider the very best book on Bettie Page, The Life of a Pinup Legend. And, the reason is that visually, I think it hits everything it needs to be the greatest of the greats here. So it functions, it's got some biographical stuff in it. There are some things that get a little deeper into her background and especially into some of her later troubles. If you're really interested in that, like I said, there's other books. Maybe I'll mention a few at the end. But this one covers her life really well. And more importantly to me is it covers all the different photographic moments in her life and all the different things that were going on, all the different images and the different places they were covered. And hey, that's how we remember Betty. That's how she wanted to be remembered. If you don't know who Bettie Page is, there's several documentaries out about her. You can go look. I will just say that she has a special look to her, a special smile, a special attitude that comes through her photographs. She really wanted to be an actress, but in the few roles she did, few speaking parts, they weren't really acting jobs, but you see, maybe she did not have what it took to be an actress, but as a model, I mean, she is just, there's a reason she's so well remembered. Some people are going like, oh, it's just because she was hyped so much. It's just not. I mean, there is something about her smile, about her attitude on camera. And this, here's all these early pictures of her family. Look at that. And so this covers all that really well, especially when it comes to the photographs. There's some early modeling stuff. Cute. Look at that. There's that smile. She doesn't have her trademark bangs yet, but they're coming. Oh, Accidental Legend. Here's where we start getting to the camera clubs. Now, the camera clubs in those days when it was they had these camera clubs, and a group of guys would pool their money together, hire a model, and then they would all take pictures of that model. And like here you can see the shadow. This is the cover. This is the picture from the cover. You can see the shadow of one of the photographers on Betty, and you see another photographer back there. And there are some great pictures of her that these amateur photographers took. Even a little nudity there. These are great black and white shots. That's a great shot of her. Fantastic. Some of the different photographers. She did very few full nudes. Whenever I see these pictures of Betty on the tractor, I always think of there's one Seinfeld episode where the Seinfeld characters are talking amongst themselves, and one of the young women, I think that Jerry's dating, says, "Oh yeah, I got VD from using my boyfriend's tractor. You know, I sat in his tractor seat and I got VT. uh, Terrific. So I'm going to skip ahead a little bit. And now here, this looks like the professional stuff. And she did a lot of these gag, terrible jokes. And she's hilarious. But I love these covers. I love the cover of these magazines. I love the old exploitation style covers. They're terrific. And there's no better way to sell a magazine than someone who looks like Betty. Bold. More great cover photos. A lot of fun. Tab. The Pocket Picture Magazine. Page is the rage. Sunbathing health magazines. Now, Bettie Page really was into exercising in the sun and being very healthy to keep her figure. She was an early fitness buff. All right, let me get past these here. Aha. Now, here's, we start getting into the Irving Klaw stuff, the bondage and discipline stuff that kind of made her famous. There, she got an Irving Klaw jacket. Who wouldn't want that? There's Irving. And these really look like, these look like the kind of photographs that were, would be in the detective magazines and stuff, shot in the kind of not so great looking apartments or something somewhere, or hotel rooms. I won't look at too many of the bondage things. If you want to talk about something that might get me in trouble. Now here, some more personal stuff. There's more the New York photos. And now the few things that Betty did that are on film are for these striptease movies, Teaserama. And those have been released. You can see they're not really the greatest films, but there you go. That's the only thing we've got of her. And then here, this is some really interesting stuff to me. This stuff, she did in Florida. The most famous of which is the stuff she shot for Bunny Yeager. But she shot for other photographers down there too. I think she looks good in these. And she really seems to be having a good time. And there's the end of the bondage stuff. Like I said, I won't go through too much of the bondage stuff. That's life goes on. So there it gives a little bit about. It doesn't go into a lot of detail like there's a tell-all book about her mental and her troubles with the law and stuff. And this is her influence on art, fashion, the Bettie Pages. I remember this fanzine very well. I have some of those around somewhere. different, this is the Private Peaks one, but there's a fanzine called the Bettie Pages. Artwork, Dave Stevens. He's part of what helped bring Betty back into the late in her life limelight. Olivia. Eric Stanton in his bondage comics used someone who looked like Betty. All these runway models. There you go. That's it, folks. So anyway, like I said, for my money, the very best book on Bettie Page, because it doesn't cover just one part of her photographic legacy. It covers everything, and you saw how many private pictures there were of her. I mean, if it didn't have those, I'd be just as happy with the book. But it is nice to have this, you know, like I say, the tell-all with all the problems, and it can be a bit much, be a bit heavy. This allows you to, even though it gives you some of that, allows you to feel like Betty's life was overall pretty good. And I really appreciate the tremendous job. The print job is just great on these pictures. So anyway, there you have it. Bettie Page, the life of the pinup legend. All right, that's all for now.